long if we can finish today. Then next week only one last lecture, then we can use to do revisions. Okay, you're going to summarize all the chapters, and then we may pick some questions from the past year to discuss. Okay, as a revision before your finals. So total we have 10 chapters. Chapter 9 schedule. Schedule we have practical 8. Still have one more practical that we will cover next week. Practical class. The last practical, so it's on chapter 9 schedule. So the two techniques are projected shadows and shadow volume. Okay, so in your exercise later, we will implement the projected shadow. So which is the most simple, fast and easy techniques. So what you have to do, you just need to squish the actual objects on the ground, and then you just make it dark. Okay, draw it black colors or gray color. Make it dark, then it will become your shadow. Okay, so this sphere, squish. So when you squeeze, it depends on whether you want to squeeze on the left, right, which plane. Okay, in the 3D look, which plane the shadow appear is depends on where is your light source. Okay, if your light source is on top, definitely your shadow will be at the bottom. Okay, if your light source is at the front, then your shadow will be at the back. Okay, if your light source is at the right, then your shadow will be at the left. So the shadow positions will be opposite, okay, of your light position. Okay, this is your light. Okay, don't use this. You misuse another one. This one. So can same. Okay, so your light source. Okay, this is your light position. Okay, so this one you project the plane is on the bottom of the objects. Okay, which is the one plane. So if your light source here is 1, okay, then y, if y is 1, you have your light source x, y, z to represent the positions of your y source. So if you are in the y plane, so you already squeeze, your y will be 0. Okay, and then your x and the z of your shadow vertex will be opposite of your light source position. Okay, so this is your object vertex, this one is your shadow vertex. Okay, so we have the formula to get the shadow vertex by apply the squish matrix onto your object vertex. Okay, so the formula is given here. So to project your shadow on the Z plane, okay, you will get this squish matrix. Okay, you can see the whole row of the Z, okay, will be 0 because it is already squished flat. Okay, Z plane means is on the front, okay, front or back. Okay, and the Z columns, okay, Z column here, your X and Y, this one, S, Y, and Z is your light position, your sun, or your light. Some you will see LX, LY, LZ. Okay, the S here is the sun, it represents the light source. Okay, so your light source position X and Y, so opposite, that's why you have the negative here. Okay, the shadow, okay, vertex will be opposite of your light position. Okay, the diagonal will be your ST, which you already, okay, follow your light source positions of Z. Okay, and this one is your original, your object vertex. Object point X, Y, Z. Your gel vertex, X, Y, Z. Okay, this is projected on the Z band. Okay, so later we are going to do this in your practical exercise. So everything your miss explained during the lectures, and then we go through the question in the tutorial, and also we did practice or implement in the practical exercise. Those are the things that most probably will come out in your exam. Okay, as you can see from your test. Okay, all of them is actually we got tests during your practical and explain and show you in your tutorial, discuss. I still cannot answer. Okay, have to study. Okay, and there are two problems in projected shadow. Okay, first problem is called Z-buffer fighting problem. And this problem some of you experienced before. Okay, when you draw two polygons at the same location, same position, with the same Z value, X value, and Y value, that at the same plane, you have two polygons there. Okay, so last time if without depth test, okay, then you don't have this problem. Okay, the one that last draw will be on top, in front of the one that you draw before. Okay, but because you are in 3D and you enable your depth test already, so your Z buffer will do the job. It will test the Z value, which one is in front, which one is behind, then it will remove the one at the back. Okay, like you draw your cube, this one is 0, the one at the back is -1, the -1 pixel will be removed, you only see the front face. Okay, no problem. Okay, but what happens if you draw two polygons at the same Z value, same position? Then you see the blinking effects. You say this why it's blink, blink, blink. It's because of this Z buffer fighting problem. Okay, two polygons. Okay, this one happen in the projected shadow because we want to draw the shadow polygon on the plane. Okay, this is your plane. Okay, and this is your shadow polygon, and you draw exactly on the plane, same position. There are two pixels are active, okay, at the same position. Then your Z buffer confused. Okay, which one should I render? Should I render the plane pixel or should I render the shadow pixel? Okay, so they are fighting each other. The two pixels are fighting each other in order to be rendered on the screen. So you will get this kind of effects. Okay, which is unfinished shadow. Okay, sometimes, so when the shadow polygon pixel win, then you see it render the shadow pixel. Okay, sometimes it's the plane pixel, it's the one winner fighting, then it will render the plane pixel. So you will see something like this. Okay, so we don't want this to be happens. Like your Miss last time got told you lah. Don't draw exactly at the same position. Okay, we have two solutions. Okay, first solution is to control the depth test. Okay, means you actually draw the ground first, in your planner, then you disable the depth test. Okay, disable the depth test, then only you draw your shadow. Okay, the decal here means your shadow, then only you draw everything else. Okay, only disable the depth test for the ground. Okay, be careful because the rest of the thing is still in 3D. You need the depth test. Okay, so it means after you disable the ground depth test, okay, the rest of the things you have to enable back your depth test. Now you will see the see-through thing. Okay, the back surface is still drawing. Okay, this is solution 1. Okay, solution 2. Okay, your miss will advise you to go to solution 2. Okay, so don't draw exactly at the same position. Okay, same locations. Okay, please shift slightly off from the plane. Okay, like you can make it like 0.1. Okay, if this one is 0.5, then you draw 0.4. Okay, so if your plane is at 0, okay, at 0, then your shadow polygon you don't draw at 0, you draw at 0.1. Okay, a bit. Okay, to solve this Z buffer fighting problem. Okay, shift your shadow geometry slightly off from the ground. Okay, just draw as normal, just make it above. Okay, a bit. Okay, this one we will use GL Translate. okay, in the Y, if you are doing this lah, Y plan. Okay. Okay, the next problem is called stencil buffer problem. Okay, so previously we already used color buffer and also the depth buffer. Okay, there's one more buffer called stencil buffer that you can use it to actually remove unwanted texture from the scene. Okay, projected shadow, because it is easy and fast. You actually just squish the object, the action object, the original object, just squish it one piece and then you draw it on the plan. So when your shadow move out of the plan, you still see this part. Okay, this is called shadow overflow for stencil buffer problem. Okay, the shadow is already go out from the plan, so this part by right you shouldn't render. So it should look like this. Okay, so you need to remove that part of the shadow polygon that is outside of the plan. So how you're going to remove? You have to use stencil buffer. Okay, stencil buffer, it will test again the stencil patterns. Okay, like the last time you learn stipple. Okay, that is line pattern. Okay, it's a 2D stipple. Okay, to define your stencil buffer patterns. Okay, based on the knowledge of your scene. So you have to tell like which pixel is actually is 0. Okay, like this green color, all will be 0. Your plan will be 1. Okay, if your shadow polygon is fell under 1, then it will render the shadow pixel. So if it's at 0, then it shouldn't render. Okay, that is the job of stencil buffer. Okay, as you can see here, there are 3 buffer here. Okay, we are drawing the triangle. You can see the green color triangle. So your color buffer will determine your triangle is what color, is inside a polygon, and outside is the background, what color. Okay, it will separate to the test. Okay, so your background white color and then your triangle is green color. Okay, this is the color buffer job. Okay, clear screen means you clear everything. Your clear colors, okay, the one that you use in the code, that one will be clear everything with the default color, black color. Okay, then you use gel color. Okay, that one is using the gel color, the color buffer. Okay, the one that do the job. Then that buffer is the one to test the Z value for each pixel. Okay, so all these buffer, the tests are performed for each pixel. So this is happen in the frame buffer. Okay, your graphic pipeline, this one is in your fragment processor. The test. Okay, your midterm you want to answer one. Fragment processor. Okay, is the one that perform all these tests. So it will test again each of the pixel. So the depth buffer will test the Z value. So it will remove those back surface, hidden surface remover. Okay, the pixel at the back will be removed. Only render the front one. Then your stencil buffer, you can see here, this one we didn't use all the time. Okay, so it's all 0, don't have pattern yet. So you get the full triangle here. So if you define or declare, okay, this pattern, okay, see the white and the black. Okay, 0 and 1. Okay, so when we go to the stencil, you test on this, so it will only render this part. Okay, white color one, so you only see this part of the triangle. Okay, this part of black color one, the one your triangle that fall on the black color bits, so it will be rejected and removed. It won't render on the screen. Okay, this is the stencil test. So you want to do your pattern, your masking, you use stencil. Okay, this one can remove the shadow polygon just now that is moved outside of the plan. You can see this. Okay, so in the stencil buffer, tests are performed on the new fragments. Again, the stencil buffer value. So this is one of the patterns. Okay, draw in the stencil buffer. So all the fill fragments, or fragment mean a group of pixels, those fill one will be rejected. So it will avoid drawing the same part twice. Okay, it will go through the stencil patterns, so it will only determine which pixel to draw based on the pattern here. Okay, so example, so your pattern is only 0 and 1. Okay, 0, 0 and 1. So you have your first scene or first image or first polygon, and then your second polygon. Okay, you just think this one is your shadow polygon, this one is your blend polygon. Okay, you test on the stencil buffer. Okay, so you pick one here. Example, here is red color, here is green color, so it's 4 on 0. So 0 it will render the red color pixel. So here is red color. So and then the second one is 1. So if your pattern is 1, then it will render the green color. Okay, so red, green. Okay, red, green. Okay, because 0, 1, 0, 1. Then here is 0. Okay, 0 by right you need to render the red color pixel, red color, but here 0, red color is empty. Okay, empty. That's why you have empty here. Okay. Then you have this is 1. So 1, you have to render the green color pixel. So green color pixel here got. So you put your green here. Okay. So you have to set this stencil buffer. Okay, so the functions are okay, we can use GR stencil functions. Okay, on the image that you're going to apply on the pattern. Okay, this one your miss didn't have the practical for you guys, but you can find the code. Okay, online, but I won't test you on the code part because we didn't do practical. Now I won't test you. So more example. Okay, I think that's all for shadow. So you need to know properly the two approaches. Most important is the projected shadow because this is the one we're going to implement. Okay, with the squish matrix. So make sure you know how to draw the diagram to show the light source. Okay, show the diagram. Okay, if you ask to draw the diagram for the projected shadow, make sure in your diagram you got show your light source. Okay, and then you draw your objects. Okay, must show the objects vertex, and then must have the plan. Okay, this is the plan. Okay, then draw the projection line. Okay, from your light source to the plan. Okay, then draw the shadow. Okay, must have this shadow vertex. Okay, then at your plan here, draw one 90-degree up vector as your normal. Okay. Okay, these are things you must show in projected shadow. So in the shadow volume, okay, then you draw something like this. Okay, must have this volume. Okay, same thing, got light source, got objects, got plan, and got the shadow, but you don't have the projection line like this. Okay, you draw a light cap like this that represent the volume that will render the shadow. Okay, that shadow volume. So shadow volume, because it's hard to define this volume, you have to know many cases. Okay, of your scene, you have to know the knowledge. You have to see what are inside your scene. Then only you can define the volume. Okay, just like the one that you see here. Okay, you know that which objects they are actually overlap, and then there are holes in the middle, and then you have to blend the opacity, which one is in front, which one is at the back. So this shadow will be softer, this one the opacity will be more. Okay, you have to define the volume. The volume is more far away, then your shadow will be bigger. Okay, so if the shadow volume, your plan is closer, then your shadow will be smaller. Okay, you need all these informations. Okay, that's why it's hard work. It's very hard. Okay, this one if you want to do, then it will be another course, advanced graphic programming. We have another course called advanced graphic programming, sir. If you want to talk, that one is elective for ST student. ST student, advanced GP. Now you take GP, okay? Then you can learn this second techniques and also the video curve, more advanced. Okay, then we have go through the what? Okay, the advantages and disadvantages of projected shadow. Okay, projected shadow good, fast, simple, easy. Okay, but disadvantages not good on the non-blend surface, curved surface not good, and unrealistic shadow. Okay, then the two problem of projected shadow must know G buffer problem and stencil buffer problem and how to solve it. Okay, so we just gone through just now. G buffer, two solution. Okay, one, control the depth test. Second, shift the polygon shadow slightly off from the ground. Okay, stencil buffer problem, have to use the stencil pattern to do the test to remove those unwanted fragments. Okay, pixel that is outside of the plane. Okay, done. Can go to last chapter. Finish. Finally. Chapter 10.
So
Any questions on shadow? Okay. Also all look tired, quiet. Okay, last chapter. Shader. Okay, it's actually continue from your lighting part. Okay, shading. Still remember the 3 shading that we learned on chapter 6, lighting. Okay, the flat shading, smooth shading, and also the palm shading. Okay, we haven't go into detail for the shading part yet. Okay, so shader itself, it can be one course. Okay, but your miss just touch a bit here only. Okay, as a last chapter. Okay, because we have another separate shader language for you to learn just to do the shading. Yeah. So we will learn the 2 types of the shaders. As the name here, you can see vertex shader. So it's been the shading, okay, the colors, the shading is calculated by every vertex. Okay, vertex shader. Okay, pixel shader calculate by every pixel. Definitely the pixel shader will be the best quality compared to vertex shader. Okay. So what is shading? Okay, shading is actually the process of the color changing, like you see from your sphere. When you move your light source, you see the color changing effects, okay, based on the angle and also the distance from the lights. Okay, this is the one will create the photorealistic effect. That's why some of your assignment now you think it's not photorealistic yet because you haven't implemented shader. Okay, but your miss want you to implement lighting. So far lighting all very lazy to put material. Only see blank color. So whole robot look red color, whole robot look green color, or whole robot look black.
I see my group do that, I tell them to add color.
Use different color material just like the one that before. before you on your lighting. Your robot is look good, but when you on your lighting, totally dark, just one color, whole thing. Okay, the lighting part and the shading part you can do more. Okay, that's the one to help you to achieve this kind of effect. You can see the photorealistic one. Okay, the calculations and the pump mapping is one of the one that play around with the shading so that you can see the surface got go up the fake pump. Okay, that is actually creating by the shading one. Okay, so it's performed during the rendering process. So with the user, the introduce of this shading, then only people start to have this photorealistic pictures, okay, image on the screen. Then only we have the digital camera last time. Only come up the digital camera. Your this era last time is no digital camera. Okay, I took the front one. Go and wash up. Okay, so why do we need shading? Okay, shading is also one of the techniques that can make your objects look 3D. Okay, last time your cube, okay, this one look like the cube that we draw last time during practical 4. Then when you see your cube is look bland, you cannot, if you use one color only, then the whole cube, you cannot see which face is front, back, left, right, up, down. Okay, you cannot see the edges. Okay, the edges line between the two faces. Unless you draw the line like this, draw the line, or like what your miss asks you to do, you color different faces with different color. Okay, so another way, some of you got try in your pyramid, you put in the geonormal. Okay, the one that without geonormal, you can see your whole piece, your whole pyramid look totally dark. Whole pyramid look totally bright. Whole thing red color. Okay, so if you implement shading, okay, with the normal calculations, so you can see each face, it will change different colors. Then you can differentiate the faces. Okay, shadings make your object look more 3D. So 3D appearance easier for you to see the edge line. Okay, this one is the one that without shading look like your pyramid that you apply your light. Okay, so you cannot see the edges between the faces. So it is difficult to tell where one face of the box end and where the next begin. Okay, so you apply shading, you get this projector. Okay. Okay, so if you enable shading, okay, based on your light positions, directional lights, okay, then you can have your cube now look like 3D and you can see the edges between the faces. Okay, it makes it more realistic. Okay, now you see the top face. Okay, this one is the left face. Okay, this one is the front. Okay, just now like this one piece cannot tell. Okay, some of you, I see you implement normal in your lighting exercise, your pyramid can load this. Okay. So what is shader? So to do the shading part, okay, you may use the shader, okay, on your graphic card, okay, your GPU to do this job. Okay, and this part is programmable. Okay, programmable. So we have the specific language, okay, for just to do shading. Okay, and your miss didn't teach you this one. Okay, in OpenGL itself, we have the shading language. Okay, GLSL. Okay, in your DirectX, okay, DirectX, we have this HL, high level shading language, HL, SL. Okay, and in C for graphics, we have this CG. Okay, these are the shading language specific. Okay, so this part we didn't learn lah. Okay, because your miss only touch shader at your last chapter at the end of the semester. Okay, so GRSL, this language then can be another course lor, just to learn GRSL. Okay, a lot of algorithm. Okay, to create the shader for your graphics to make it look realistic. Okay, you also got 3 there. So even though now your miss also picked OpenGL, we didn't learn DirectX lah. DirectX ST student got learn when they do their diploma. Okay, so if you are interested, you can go and learn. So, okay, so if your FYP you want in the future, you want to do graphic engine, then you can come to find Miss as your supervisor, your final year project supervisor. But a lot of you software engineering, a lot of you like to do AI.
AI earn money ma.
Okay, your miss also AI one. I'm specialized in AI.
So will I meet you again next sem
Huh?
Will I meet you again next sem?
I did teach because this one is already full, then I don't take lah. Okay, I taught AI last 2 years during MCO lah.
Teach back lah.
This one nobody. This subject nobody teach.
I know, I wonder why leh
I asked my student back to teach, but you need master and above in this degree, and 5 years working experience. So I only can find the student that after 5 years one that I teach. For the one taking,
Please remove this subject lah. Teach AI and advanced AI.
cannot remove this one. Software engineering must have GP. Else your MQA cannot get lah.
Yeah.
Last time first batch of software engineering bachelor don't have GP one. Okay, when I go and take the MQA, they say must put GP in. That is the syarat, must comply. Else they don't give you the MQA accreditation. It means it's not recognized lah.
They want to make us suffer do OpenGL.
No, software engineering must learn. Your miss is from software engineering background one. My bachelor, I also got learn this. My bachelor is bachelor in software engineering. And my master is in computational intelligence AI. Okay, when I first got here, I teach AI first. Okay, then I teach graphic lah. Graphic nobody mah.
Okay.
Very hard to find people. So these are niche area. You can earn money one. Even though you go out, come and teach part time.
But I thought
after you graduate, you come here teach part time.
I thought the industry use computer aided design tools already. Still got people code in raw OpenGL code.
This one is the low level ma. Basic skill, you still need one. Don't think everything you learn high level. Okay, you still have the people that at the back do the low level one. People you can use the high level one. Right. Okay, so let's see type of shader. Okay, why got people when my midterm test got people answer this one Your midterm test is only until chapter 5 When you say fragment processor, somebody say a program used to process every pixel draw onto screen. Then he say vertex processor, a program used to process every vertex pass to the GPU. Give me chapter 10 answer in your chapter 1 question.
Bonus mark.
0 lah. You actually talk different things. Okay, this one is shader, not the graphic part, not the processor. Okay, so like the name vertex shader, so every vertex will be processed in your graphic card. Okay, calculations. So each vertex, okay, calculate the colors. Okay, see what are the normal, what are the light angle, light distance, light positions. Then only you determine this pixel, not this pixel, this vertex. Okay, going to put what colors. Okay, only the fragment shader. This one is every pixel. Okay, calculation done with every pixel. Okay, definitely fragment shader, the quality will be very good. You can see the, okay, this human head. You can see this part is look darker. Okay, and then slowly become brighter. Okay, so the changing of this effect, this is called shading. The colors. Okay, from the black here, slowly become. It's all also same human skin color, but it got the gradient. This one is caused by the calculation, okay, of the shading. So vertex shader will run once each vertex given to the graphic processor. Okay, so the purpose is to transform each vertex 3D positions in a virtual space to a 2D coordinate. Okay, because vertex at the end you show on the screen, okay, it will become a 2D image. Okay, then it will test the Z buffer. Okay, this one same thing. Okay, depth test. Okay, this one is test by vertex, calculate by vertex. So when you do the calculations of the shader, so it will take all this into considerations. Okay, so what are the position, what are the colors, what are the texture coordinates. Okay, this one is happen in your vertex processor, graphic pipeline vertex processor. So it will just determine the positions of the vertex, the colors, the texture coordinate, but cannot create new vertex. Okay, shader will only manipulate the properties. Okay, so after the vertex shader, then it will go to the next step in your graphic pipeline. Okay, your primitive geometry shader, your primitive assembler, okay, or your rasterizer. Okay, so the pixel shader is also called fragment shader. So pixel and fragments, the difference just fragment is a group of pixel. Okay, it's still pixel. So the most common reason that we use this pixel shader, okay, it will call many times for each pixel, per pixels for every object. So and every object also will be tested on the Z buffer. So if it's already occluded, means remove, sorted out already, remove the hidden surface, then don't need to do the shading part for those pixels that already occluded. Okay, occluded means hidden surface removal. Okay, those pixels already removed, no need to do the shading calculations. Okay, only count for the one that will be rendered on the screen. When this kind of effect, this is pixel shader. Photorealistic.
Wow.
And I want to do this, you have to learn the shading language. Calculating, real time, it's just like your pictures. Okay, real time shadow, lighting. Okay, top part. Okay, you see the sunlight from the top. Okay, you have the water here blending your shadow. Look darker, slowly. Okay, this one is one of the game. Pixel shader is only available on PS3 onwards. Okay, PS2 the other pixel shader don't have. you can see we have the pictures here. You can see this one PS2. Okay, PS2 this one. Okay, without the pixel shader. Okay, this how. Okay, last time you do PS2 game. Okay, the first PS2 game in Malaysia. Okay, I did this before. Okay, with the implementations of the pixel shaders on the PS3 is a big evolutions of the graphics improvements. Okay, when they change the console resolution. Okay, you can see the step here, just see this part. Okay, you still see the light changing. Okay, the color changing on here. Okay, this part. Okay, but it's calculated by vertex. So you see one piece, the light colors. Okay, but this, okay, with the pixel shader, so it's actually calculate every pixel. So every pixel you also see got color change. Okay, based on the lights. So it's much more realistic. This projector can see. Yeah, you means only pick this part because this part is the most obvious one. You can see. So we just do the computations of the colors and other attributes of each pixel, so that you can see that effect. So what algorithm, what formula to calculate? Okay, you can code using your shader language. Okay, another comparison here. You can see the stack tube. Very stack tube. Okay, cut half. Okay, this one. Okay, got shader. This one none. This one with pixel shader. Okay, really can improve so much the quality. So when you do the pixel shader, you do the calculation. Okay, you have to apply. Okay, have to know your lighting, the technique the technique we learn. Okay, what are the lighting now? What light is this? You have how many lights there? Ambient, diffuse, specular lights, or point lights. Okay, actually lighting part your miss didn't implement all in your practical exercise. Okay, you can have the spotlight and the point lights also. Okay. So your miss just cover the basic one only. Okay, the ambience and the diffuse. Okay, you can also put an angle, okay, to create your spotlight or your that one got degree calculations of the angle. Okay, need more work. Different types of the lights. Okay, and also pump mapping we also didn't do. Okay, so when and the GL normal part. Okay, this one because it's touched on the shading already. Okay, so you need to have the pump mapping, you need to have the normal map. You have to define and come up the normal map. And shadow, you must only do the projected shadow. So here you need to do shadow volume as well. For photorealistic effect, this is shadow. Okay, so this one, this kind of effect you can see. Projected shadow cannot do. Okay, you must use shadow volume. Okay. Okay, specular highlights, transparency. Okay, transparency we also didn't touch blending the opacity. That's why your miss only do RGB, the A, the alpha there. Your miss didn't ask you to adjust yet. Okay, the alpha test transparency blending part. That part haven't teach you to do. Okay, need to use shading language to do the blending part and other phenomena. Okay, close. Still got 5 minutes. Okay, you can finish a bit. Okay, you want to do this, you need to use shading language. Okay, you can see this scene, so you have your sky here, you have your water. Okay, you just pick one of the pixel, one of the pixel here. So you have the reflection of the sky. Okay, in the water here. So you pick one pixel here, then the pixel shader will see, okay, how many objects that are active in this pixel. Okay, in this pixel you can see the shadow of the rain here, and then you can see the water pixel, and then you can see the reflection of the sky pixel here. So three things. Okay, three pixels that you have to consider. Not only you calculate, okay, this pixel, okay, is going to put what color. Okay, so it means multiple. That is the meaning of more than one color if multiple renderer target are active. So just like this one I picked, so you have the shadow of the rain, you have the water pixel. So you have to consider the sky pixel reflection. What is the color of the sky? Okay, then you have to see what are the color of the water, and then what are the colors is the shadow of the rain. So three active target, then you do calculation. Okay, you can, one of the way you can use linear interpolations. Okay, or you can define the opacity, okay, based on the distance. Okay, so distance from the sky is far, maybe the sky pixel colors you take less, something like this. Okay, so the algorithm itself, there are a few shader algorithm. You may also come up your own one. So a pixel shader alone, if only a pixel shader alone cannot produce very complex effects. Okay, because it's only working on a single pixel without the knowledge of the scene geometry. So if you want to calculate the pixel value, you need to have the knowledge of the scene. So it means together, okay, not only the multiple render target, so you have to know all this as well. Okay, what are the lighting value, what are the palm map, the normal map value, the shadow, the highlights, the transparency. Okay, must all, then only you can produce complex effect like this. Okay, using pixel shader. Can, this one last slide. Okay, so why shader programming? Okay, because we need to program, okay, all the hardcode shader to improve our graphics, to make it more realistic. Okay, with the programmable sites, okay, you can allow you guys to do anything that you want on your graphics. So there are various shading techniques that are achievable. So, and you always can create new one. Okay, new rendering ideas can easily experimented and implemented. This one, if you want to further your study in graphics, you can do shading algorithms come up. Okay, you can develop your own shading algorithm. Okay, so these are basically the benefits that with the use of shader. Okay, so that's all for chapter 10. Okay, so what are vertex shader, what is pixel shader, and the benefits. Okay, this one we just learned the surface, the theory part of it. Okay, this one I will don't go into technical. So the shading language part of that. You just need to know what is vertex shader, what is pixel shader. Okay, what the difference between that. Okay, one is calculated by vertex. Okay, one is calculated by pixel. Okay, so calculations of the colors.